Hey guys, welcome back. So today we'll be finding the circumference of a circle. Remember that the circumference of a circle is the distance around your circle. Remember that your diameter passes through the center of the circle. And then you have your radius, which is a line segment that has one endpoint at the center of the circle, and then the other endpoint is on the circle. So this is an example here of a radius, which is right here. And then you have a chord. So this purple line here is going to be my chord. So this is just going to be a line segment whose endpoints are on the circle. However, a diameter is still a chord. So keep that in mind. So if you see a true and false question that says a diameter is a chord, your answer is going to be true. Yes, a diameter is a chord. When it comes to the formula for your circumference, you're going to notate your circumference as the letter C, and that's going to equal pi times your diameter, or you can also use this formula here, C equals 2 pi r. If you're looking for the radius and you have your diameter, that's going to be r equals 1/2 of your diameter, or you may see it as r equals your diameter, that's over 2. And then if you wanted to find the diameter, that's going to be d equals 2r. So you have your circumference right here, your formula for your radius is here, and then your formula here for your diameter is here. Let's look at this example here. So let's say you have a circle and I need to find the circumference of this circle with a diameter of 9 inches. So I can use two formulas. I'm going to use C equals pi times your diameter, or you can use C equals 2 pi r. And we'll try both so you can see. And the reason why we can use these two formulas for our answer, because remember, what does your diameter equals 2 times r. So if 2 times r, that equals your diameter. If I do diameter times pi, that's also going to give me my circumference. So let's look at this formula here. So I'm going to do C equals pi times my diameter. Your answer here, when you multiply 3.14 times 9, you're going to get an estimation of about 28.26 inches. And then if you use this side here, if I do C equals 2 pi r, if I have a diameter of 9, how do I find my radius? And remember the formula for your radius, so you're going to do radius equals 1/2 times 9, r equals 9 divided by 2, and r equals 4.5. So my radius here is going to be 4.5. Now, when I multiply, C equals 2 times 4.5, which we just did, that's going to equal 9. And then if I multiply 9 times pi, which is what we did on this side here, then you're also going to get 28.26 inches approximately. So your final answers here, if you do this formula or this formula here on the right, you're going to get approximately 28.26. If you have to write your answer in pi form, I've seen some questions where it says leave your answer in pi form, then your answer is going to be 9 pi. That's your answer in pi form. But if they're asking you to round your answer or to provide an estimation, then you want to go ahead and use the estimation that you received, which is 28.26, or you may see it as 28.3 inches. Let's look at this example here. So let's say I have a radius of 7.2 centimeters. So how do I find my circumference with a radius of 7.2 centimeters? So let's look at this formula here. If I do C equals 2 times pi times my radius of 7.2, 7.2 times 2, this is going to give me 14.4. And then I multiply that by pi. If you have to leave your answer in pi form, then you stop right here. But if you're looking for an estimation, then you're going to do 14.4 times 3.14. And this is going to give you 45.216 centimeters. So let's say you use this formula here on the side. If I did C equals pi times your diameter, if my radius is 7.2, How do I find my diameter? Then this side here also have to be 7.2. If I multiply 7.2 by 2, then I'm going to be able to find my diameter. So diameter is going to equal 2 times your radius. Diameter equals 2 times 7.2. And this is going to give you 14.4. So my diameter is going to be 14.4. And then if you do 14.4 times your pi, you're going to get approximately 45.216 centimeters. And this is your answer here. Remember, if you have to leave your answer in pi form, it's going to be 14.4 pi. Let's look at this example here. If I have to find the circumference and my diameter is 6 centimeters long. So I'm going to use this formula here. C equals pi times my 6 centimeters. This is going to equal about 18.84 centimeters. If you were to use the formula here on the right, if my diameter is 6, remember that to find your radius, then you divide by 2. So if I do r equals my diameter is 6 divided by 2, then my radius is going to equal 3. So this is 3 centimeters here, and then this is 3 centimeters here as well. So now let's plug it in. So C equals 2 pi times your 3. 2 times 3, this is going to equal 6. And then 6 times pi, this is going to give you approximately 18.84 centimeters. Let's look at this example here. So if my diameter is 10 centimeters and I need to find my circumference, I can use this formula here. So C equals pi times your diameter of 10. 10 times pi, this is going to give you approximately 31.4 centimeters. Now, if you wanted to use this formula here, 2 pi r, what is my radius if my diameter is 10? So I'm going to do r equals, my diameter is 10. 10 divided by 2, this is going to equal 5. So your radius here is going to be 5. So my diameter is 10, my radius is 5. So I'm going to do 2 pi and then times 5. So we have 2 times 5, this is going to equal 10. And then 10 times pi, like we did on the left side, this is also going to give you 31.4 centimeters. And remember, if you need to leave your answer in pi form, then your answer is going to be 10 pi as your answer. Let's say that my radius here is 1/2 centimeters. So if I have my radius of 1/2 centimeters, how do I find my diameter? So if that's 1/2, this here is going to be 1/2 as well. And then your diameter here is going to be 1. So let's go ahead and use this formula here. So we have C equals 2 pi. My radius is 1/2. So if I do 2 times 1/2, this is going to give me 1. So C equals 1 times pi. And if I multiply 1 times 3.14, you're going to get 3.14 centimeters. Now, let's say if I use my diameter, so we do C equals pi times your diameter of 1, which is what we have here. So pi times 1, this is just going to equal pi. So 1 times 3.14 is going to equal 3.14 centimeters. And remember, if you have to write your answer in terms of pi or in pi form, then your final answer here in pi form is just going to be pi. So what if I said in this example here that your diameter is 4 inches? So to find the circumference, you're going to do C equals pi times your diameter of 4, and you're going to do 4 times 3.14, which is your pi. You're going to get approximately 12.56 inches. So let's say you wanted to use this formula here on the right, and let's say you needed to find the radius. So if my diameter is 4, then my radius here has to be 2, because remember that your radius is half of your diameter. So this is 2, and this is also 2. So if my radius is 2, then you're going to do C equals 2 pi times 2. 2 times 2 is going to equal 4. So you're going to do 4 times pi, and 4 times pi, that's going to give you approximately 12.56 inches. And if you have to leave your answer in pi form, in terms of pi, then your answer is going to be 4 pi, which is right here. So let's look at this example here. So let's say you need to find the radius of a circle with a circumference of 6 pi. So we need to find the radius. So let's look at this formula on this side here. So if my circumference is 6 pi and I need to find the radius, I'm going to do 6 pi equals 2 pi r. I'm going to divide both sides here by 2 pi because we need to get the radius by itself. So 2 pi here. My 2 pi's here are going to cancel out on my right side. So this is going to equal r for your radius. And then on this side here, my pi's are going to cancel out. And then I have 6 divided by 2. This is going to equal 3. So your radius in this example here is going to equal 3. So if you have a circle here and your radius, this is going to equal 3. And if your radius on that side is 3, then your radius here is going to be 3. And then if I have 2 radius that equals 3, then what is going to be my diameter? So remember your formula for diameter equals 2 times your r. So I'm going to do d equals 2 times my radius of 3. So your diameter is going to equal 6. Now let's plug in the numbers to see if we get 6 pi as our answer. So remember we said that my radius is 3. So I'm going to do c equals 2 pi times 3, and then you have c equals 2 times 3. This is going to equal 6, and then 6 times pi. This is going to give you approximately 18.84 as your answer. So your exact amount is going to be here, 6 pi, and then your estimation is going to be 18.84. And as you can see, based on our question here, they got 6 pi as their circumference. And this is what we have here as well as our circumference. So we know that in order for my circumference to be 6 pi, then my radius has to be 3, and then my diameter has to be 6. So let's see if we use this formula here on the left side. So c equals pi times my diameter of 6, and then you're going to get here the same thing. 6 times pi, this is going to give you 18.84. So again, you'll see that you receive the same answer as we did for the formula with my radius. So this is your estimation here, and then this is your exact amount here. So your final answer here, because we needed to find the radius, is going to be 3. Let's look at this example here. So let's say my diameter is 22 centimeters, and we need to find the circumference of my circle with a diameter of 22. So I'm going to do c equals pi times my diameter. This is going to be 22. So 22 times pi, this is going to give you approximately 69.08 centimeters. So let's say we use this formula here, 2 pi r, and we need to find the radius. If my diameter is 22 centimeters, then my radius is going to be 22 divided by 2, your diameter divided by 2, this is going to equal 11. So your radius here is going to be 11 centimeters, and then your radius here on this side is also going to be 11 centimeters. So if I plug it in, c equals 2 pi times 11, that's your radius. 2 times 11, this is going to equal 22. And then 22 times pi, estimation is going to be 69.08 centimeters as well. If you do 22 times 3.14. So these are your estimations here. And then your exact amount in pi form is going to be 22 pi. Let's look at this example here. So let's say your diameter is 5. And what is your radius? Your radius on both sides here is going to be 2.5 here. And then here, you're also going to get 2.5 as well as your radius. So let's say we solved it. So radius equals your diameter over 2. So 5 divided by 2, your radius is going to be 2.5. So let's go ahead and plug into the formulas to see. So let's say we use this one here with my diameter. C equals pi times your diameter is 5. 5 times pi, this is going to be approximately 15.7. So now let's look at my 2 pi r. So if I do C, it's 2 pi r, your radius is 2.5. So if you do 2.5 times 2, that's going to equal 5. So you have 5 times pi. 5 times pi, again, is also going to give you 15.7 miles. And remember, if you have to leave your answer in pi form, your answer is going to be 5 pi. This is in pi form. Or your estimation is going to be 15.7 miles. So let's say you had a radius of 2 3/4. So remember that 2 3/4 in decimal form is going to equal 2.75. So let's go ahead and look at this side right here, this formula here. So let's do C equals 2 pi times 2.75, which is equivalent to 2 3/4. And then I'm going to multiply 2.75 times 2. This is going to equal 5.5 times pi, or 5.5 times 3.14. This is going to give you 17.27 inches. And let's say you had your diameter. So if 2.75 is my radius here, if I go on this side here, you're also going to get 2 3/4 or 2.75 as well. So 2.75 times 2, this is going to equal 5.5. So you're going to do C equals pi times your diameter. And 5.5 times pi, this is also going to give you approximately 17.27 inches. So these are your estimations here. And then these are your pi forms right here. So in terms of pi, if you have to leave your answer in terms of pi, you're going to get 5.5 pi. Let's look at these two examples here. So let's say you need to find the circumference if you have a diameter of 5.3 miles. And then the second example here is if you have a radius of 3.5 centimeters. So let's look at my diameter first. So if I have a diameter of 5.3 miles, then you want to use this formula. C equals pi times your diameter. So you're going to get pi times 5.3, and pi times 5.3 is going to give you approximately 16.642 miles. And let's say you wanted to use this formula here, C equals 2 pi r. Remember, to find your radius, you're going to do r equals diameter divided by 2. So r equals 5.3, divide that by 2. 5.3, divide that by 2, you're going to get 2.65 as your answer. So you're going to get C equals 2 pi times 2.65, because that's your radius. So then we're going to do 2 times 2.65. So you're going to get 5.3 times pi, and 5.3 times pi is going to give you 16.642 miles as well. So let's come on this side here. So let's say we need to find the circumference and we have a radius of 3.5 centimeters. So you can use this formula here. So my radius is 3.5 centimeters. So C equals 2 pi times your radius of 3.5. 3.5 times 2, this is going to give us 7. And then you have 7 times pi. So 7 times 3.14. This is going to give us approximately 21.98 centimeters. And then let's say we wanted to find your diameter. So my radius is 3.5. How do you find your diameter? So all you're going to do, and your diameter, remember, is going to be D equals 2r. So let's say we did C equals pi times D. C equals pi times your diameter. My radius is 3.5, so I'll use this formula here. D equals 2 times your radius, 3.5. 3.5 times 2, this is going to equal 7. So my diameter is going to be 7. So 7 times pi, this is also going to give you approximately 21.98 centimeters. All right, so that is all for today, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.